We are currently witnessing the rise of Filipino basketball. And I'm not only talking about Jalen Green or referring to the Kai Soto video, which we also did, but there's a handful of up-and-coming players that are really putting on for their country. Now, I know what you're thinking, and no, I'm not saying they're going to dominate the NBA anytime soon. As a matter of fact, we've yet to see a Filipino-born NBA hooper get drafted, but that's exactly why it's such a special time. The Philippines obviously have a passion for the sport, and as time has went on, they're beginning to establish themselves as a country to be taken seriously, where traditionally this hasn't necessarily been true. Okay, but enough of that. We're here to talk about Jalen Green, and the fact that being one of the first Filipinos to be drafted to the league will likely be of the smallest of his accomplishments. To be frank, he's one of a kind, and I'm just gonna say it, one of the best high school players we've ever seen. Despite dropping record numbers and absolutely dominating his competition, his game is equally, if not more, impressive. But before getting into his numbers and a likely scenario to pan out, I want to point out his style to be a mix between Russell Westbrook and Zach LaVine. He can jump out of the gym, and on top of that, he makes it look effortless, as if he could just float to where he needs to go until he's ready for a vicious poster. And finally, quick flex. But what makes him unique is he could dribble like a league-bound guard already. He's as shifty as your favorite ball-is-life point guard and can put up a quick shot off the dribble from the perimeter or a drain back-to-back threes. Oh, and I wouldn't contest him in the paint. He can do everything exceptionally well, makes it look easy, and here's the kicker. He's going into his senior year. What is up, guys? It's your favorite coach's favorite editor. And for those of you that are new here, we post videos just like this, including vlogs, where we sometimes also take an in-person look at the athletes we do breakdowns on. And I might add, we'll be putting our money where our mouth is in upcoming videos. Literally, we're going to be betting on draft picks along with other moves just to show you guys we're committed to the game and make sure to deliver our best analysis. We've been working double time recently, trying to get out at least one video a week, so drop a like because, as it turns out, those could really help a channel like ours grow. But let's move on and recap what we've covered so far. A lot of hype? Well, I'd agree with that. So let's get into his stats briefly because they're equally breathtaking. Okay, so he's 6'5", 17 years old, and has been playing basketball at San Joaquin Memorial for the last 3 years. As of now, he's the #1 ranked junior shooting guard in the nation and the #3 junior overall. His freshman year, he averaged 18.1 points a game, 9 rebounds, and 3.2 assists, and led his team to the state tournament quarterfinals. As a sophomore, he averaged 27.9 points per game, 7.7 rebounds, 2.8 assists, and led his team to their second consecutive state tournament quarterfinals appearance. And his most recent year being his junior season in 2018-2019, he averaged 33 points per game, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists. He also broke his high school record of career points, standing for nearly 40 years, and he did it by the end of his junior year with 2,291 points. We can only assume that unless he rides the bench his senior year, the previous record will be rendered obsolete and the new one untouchable. Oh, and all the while acquiring a list of honors including 2018 FIBA Under-17 World Cup MVP. I'm just going to put them here on the screen for those of you that are curious. I'll also add, after his senior year, it's likely he'll attend the University of Memphis. He said, "Game knows game," when referring to them showing interest in recruiting him. Although he did show some interest in Oregon, UCLA, and Kentucky as well. I could go on all day talking about his high school career and how it's been absolutely staggering, but I think you get the point. So before we move on, I want to add that there's also 2 key factors that could promote Jalen's success that we haven't talked about yet. His work ethic is on another level, along with his mindset and killer instinct, which is actually quite obvious considering his summer routine as a 13-year-old consisted of morning runs with a weighted vest. 3 years later, at 16 years old, he had this to say in a post-game interview. "Every time I step on the court, I'm the best. I don't care who you are, where you're from, what you're working on, or what you're doing. If you're guarding me and you're trying to score on me, I'm gonna lock you up. I'm gonna get by you, and I'm gonna get a bucket. Simple as that." He also has the entire country of the Philippines standing firmly behind him and proudly claims his inherited nickname, the Unicorn. So finally, I want to address a few things before we conclude this video. Is he a stellar high school basketball player? Well, yes, obviously. One of the best, or at least the most fun to watch in recent memory. Does this mean he's going to be as dominant in college? Of course not. And furthermore, in the league, no, things don't always translate to the NBA. We've seen it happen before, but that's just part of the game. However, what we do know is Jalen's game is unlike any others in his class. He's truly unique and is an extremely well-rounded athlete. I think there's room and furthermore even a demand for talent like his in the league, and I wouldn't be surprised if he went #1 overall in 2021. As a matter of fact, that's who we have our money on as of now. But as usual, we're going to have to wait till that time comes, but you could be sure as it nears, we'll be right here with a follow-up. So if you're not already, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned. So what do you guys think? League bound? Too early to know? Or has he already established himself as a top pick in 2021? Also, if there's any other player that's been under the radar that might just be next up, let us know in the comment section. From the gatekeepers of YouTube's basketball community and your favorite 4,000 sub hopefuls, Courtical Hoops, see you on the next one.